Our third speaker taught me a number of things that I never knew before about health, nutrition, food. And I like to say that he probably is one of the few individuals who knows the proper use of a crummer, as well as the proper way to de-stem kale. If you could welcome our next speaker, Mr. Matt Shea.
Wow, giving my icebreaker speech. This is fun. To be honest, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm excited as well. When I was young, and all growing up, similar to Illinois, I was a disciplined child. My parents did a very good job of keeping me in line, but I was also the runt of the family. I was the smallest of my cousins, of my brothers. They could all pick on me and push me around and tell me what to do. I was always quiet, and I got away with things because I was good friends with everyone, I was well behaved, I was smart. So I could slide under the radar a little bit, but whenever push came to shove, I typically just let push keep on shoving. I didn't ever learn to stand up for myself. So my cousin, Tucker, who is one of my best friends, lived in a rougher part of town back in Bowling Green. And it was a lower income neighborhood, but everybody there got along great. But they were very tough kids that I was around. I was around people who played football and people who just generally enjoyed being, I guess, doing what boys do, which is being rough and rowdy and having fun with it. But like I said, I was one of the smallest kids out there. I never could put up much of a fight against him, and I have an eye problem as well, where I can't really see depth perception. It's very hard for me, so ball sports are pretty difficult. So amongst all these big, tall, strong guys, I was usually the last picked on a team, and the last picked in sports in general, and nobody wanted me on their team, and it hurt me a little bit. It hurt. But at the age of 12, my grandpa said, I'm going to hire you personal trainer. So me, my cousin, and my little brother, who was a year younger than me, but was born with stocky, he got the stocky genes. He was stout as a bull, still is, and could push me around. So my little brother could push me around, and that, quite frankly, was embarrassing. At the age of 12, my grandpa hired me a personal trainer. And so every day for 2 years, three times a week for 2 years, me, my brother, and my cousin could go to the gym and work out. Tucker and Rylan being my little brother, could do ungodly amounts of weight for a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. How are they that strong? That's absolutely ridiculous. And I just kept on chugging away at these little tiny weights, never could move around much weight. But it lit a fire in me. And as we got older, Tucker and Rylan left the gym to go play football. And they were star athletes, both of them. They were starting first string, they were named to be on the intercom all the time. They'd make the good sacks, and they would have just awesome games, and they were star players. They were great athletes, and they had that fire. They had that passion inside of them that they wanted to get that ball, and if you wanted to fight them, you better be willing to tussle because they're going to bring the heat. And I never really had that fire in me till I turned 16. And when I was 16, so I've been working out now for 4 years, and I still hadn't seen much change. At 16, I learned how to drive. And I said to my mom, I'm going to get a gym membership. I got a gym membership. And before this, I had just been 3 times a week, off and on, here and there with these personal trainers. I got this gym membership and immediately started going to the gym every day, 5 days a week, at 5 a.m. in the morning. For a high schooler, that was pretty impressive, I thought. And I didn't do it to impress anybody. I did it because I was tired of being the runt. I was tired of being the small guy that got picked on. And the good thing about me is that I like to do my research, so I learn as much as I can about the subject I'm going into before I get into it. And it enabled me to really make the best of my weightlifting experience. So instead of going in and trying to figure it out, I turned to people who knew what I had gone through. They knew how to do the things that I was trying to do, like Arnold and Franco Colombo and all these big names in fitness, and learn from them. And so from my sophomore year in high school all the way to my senior year, I gained, so I was 135 pounds, and I got up to 165 pounds, and the girls have started to notice me. Sports coaches have started to notice me, and things are going pretty good. I actually got, as a senior in high school, got accused of steroids a few times, which is very amusing because anybody who's put in work at the gym knows that it takes a lot more than steroids. And it wasn't steroids. I was proud of what I had accomplished. To be accused of steroids is a compliment in and of itself. So I had really made some good, solid progress. And being underneath the iron, being forged by iron in the gym, enabled me to develop this assertiveness, this gameness that my brother and my cousin had always had that I envied so much. It enabled me to really stick myself out there a little bit more and carry myself a little bit taller. So that summer, going into my freshman year of college, I met my buddy Zach Brandt, who is an Army Ranger. He is one of the toughest cats I know. He's a total hoss. And he quickly caught up to me. So he had never worked out before, and within a year was up to where I was. I weighed 175 at the time, and he convinced me to do my first weightlifting competition, or first bodybuilding competition rather. So I did a bodybuilding competition with Zach, and that is where, under the weights, is where I truly found myself. So now, I became certified as a personal trainer. I teach what I know about weights, and I'm constantly using it as a metaphor for life. Going down on a squat, on a heavy squat, not knowing if you're going to be able to get back up, and just finding it within yourself to get up. And just this past Thanksgiving, I put those turkey gains to good use. I got a new max on deadlift, and I had never done it before. I got 425 pounds, and I was very proud of that. So that's how I went from being the runt to being forged into iron that I am now, and I'm still working on myself.